What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use integrators and aggregators within make.com. All right, you don't have to be a coder or have some deep understanding of, JSON or scripting or anything like that. You can understand it, and it's pretty simple. Once you get the hang of it, let's dive right in. All right, so before I have some make professionals or whatnot, in the comments saying, you can make it very advanced or whatnot. Yeah, you probably could, make this a lot more advanced. I'm just going to break it down to you very simple. I'm not a developer. I'm not a coder. I do know, I am somewhat of a techie person. I do understand a bit of code and this and that. But, even if you're a beginner with make or intermediate, you're going to be able to follow along and hopefully implement something like this. So I'm just going to show you a workflow or a scenario that I've been working on, and quite honestly with you guys, I was having some trouble with it, with aggregators and integrators. So but it's actually it's very simple once you get the hang of it, at least the basics of it. So with that being said, I'm just going to kind of walk you through this scenario and how I'm using it and how you could use it. And hopefully you can kind of take what I've learned from building this out and you can implement it into your scenarios. Now, with that being said, also too, will you use integrators and aggregators all the time? Most likely not. I very rarely find myself using them, a huge amount. Typically like maybe once or twice, in a scenario, if it's like a complex scenario if needed. But here is what's going on in this scenario. So I'm just grabbing webhook data from Airtable, and then this part right here you don't really need to worry about. This is just to do with like the actual scenario. I'm searching through records basically right here just to see if they have if it's populated or not. Then I have a router right here, basically just showing, okay, does it have is this here, let me show you what the filter is right here. So it's just basically framework breakdown if this exists or not. So if it doesn't exist, it's going up here. If it exists, right, show you the filter. So framework breakdown exists, it's going in down this path. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be like the router is only right now, at least when the framework breakdown exists. But that's just how I built out my scenario. This is a specific scenario. I'm not like showing you how to build out this scenario. I will be doing future videos showing you how to build out scenarios like this, advanced scenarios, intermediate scenarios, etc., for specific use cases for your business and for your personal life and to automate things. You can do it for your clients even, of course. But this is where we start actually getting into the integrator and aggregator part, which is the main part of this video, showing you how to use this. So first thing to note is many scenarios or many modules are actually built in with an aggregator or an integrator, with an integrator typically. So like, for example, search. Right now I'm searching a record. I'm searching for categories. And like, let me just show you. So I am searching within a table. I am outputting categories and the formula. So this is just basically a formula filtering if the category is I only want categories that aren't empty, and the limit is 100, right? I just put 100 there. That is like, this is just particular, like I said, for the scenario. But searching records, like if you're searching a Google sheet or you're searching multiple records, lots of times it's an integrator. And the way you can actually tell if it's an integrator already is if we click on this little search icon. And this is like something that you're going to want to do a lot if you're like trying to analyze what the data types are within you know, that you're inputting and outputting, always click on the search icon. You can see here we're inputting bundle. The output right now is multiple bundles like this. So since it's outputting all these bundles, and these bundles are just like categories, so I have like Instagram growth, e-commerce strategy, etc. This is essentially like an integrator, right? So we have an integrator, so we don't need to go and add an integrator. But let's just say like you didn't have that, you know, like you had an array, for example. I'm not gonna go ahead and like completely build this out right now, but if you had some sort of array before the integrator and it wasn't like already an integrator, then that's when you would use an integrator. And it's pretty simple. You just put the array here, and then it's gonna essentially work. And first, let me just also say too, if you're like don't really know at all what an integrator and aggregator are, first off, I would definitely say go to Makes. They have like a university and stuff, and I would definitely start going through those programs to get familiar with this stuff. But essentially, integrator you know, is taking an array, and you can see here with the little icon here, it's like breaking it up into multiple bundles like you see here. So bundle, 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 bundle. And an aggregator is essentially doing the opposite. So we see here it's taking these bundles and it's pushing it into one. We have like 5 going out for the integrator and 5 going into one for the aggregator. All right. And there's different ones too. Like if I go over here to tools, and this is what I actually used here. We have aggregators right here. So we have numeric aggregators, table aggregators, text aggregators, right? So if you wanted to like take, for example, let's say some data, some like, you know, monthly revenue data or monthly sales commission, whatever, or like accounting data, you may want to use something like a numeric aggregator. And then you could basically, I'm going to show you how to set up the aggregator here in just a second, but you would just basically do the same thing, what I'm going to show you in a second, except you can do things like average, sum, count, maximum value, minimum value, and then you would put the value here. Now I'm going to show you, it's like the source module and all that. I'm going to show you it's right here. So basically we have our integrator, which is the module of search. And as you can see, it's outputting multiple bundles, right? But if we were just to run this directly, so basically what the scenario is doing is taking these, it's taking the categories that are filled, that aren't empty within this Airtable, and what it is doing is basically creating a ChatGPT message that is, you can see here, it's showing these categories right here, right? And so what this is doing, so if I was to remove this text aggregator right here, then what would happen when I would run the scenario is, let's just say right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 9 different bundles, right? And I could run this, and I did do this, and basically what would happen is it would run the scenario and it would search the records. So it got 9 different bundles, and then it would put that data over here. And what it actually looks like is, right now it's a text, but what it would show is for that ChatGPT response, it would basically run through it all 9 times. All right, so it would submit this ChatGPT to the API, this request, this completion, this message. It would send it to ChatGPT, and it would say this whole message with the first bundle, right, as the variable, so e-commerce strategy, then the second bundle, then the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one, the seventh one, the eighth one, the ninth one, the ninth one, right? So that is going through multiple different executions. So one, it's not efficient. It actually didn't work at all for what I was trying to do. And two, I mean, it's just basically eating up at your executions for your scenario executions monthly. So it's going through a lot, right? And you can, if you have a lot of these set up and you're running it daily, it can eat through your subscription usage quite quickly. So yeah, so what this does is you could go like this and have an array aggregator right here. This is essentially the same thing, except this automatically, this text aggregator automatically is putting it into one. So the bundle is just text right here. And that's what I wanted, because I wanted to show ChatGPT all the categories in one text thing. Okay, so let's just delete this. So this is essentially the Iterator, and this is essentially the aggregator. And so what this text aggregator is doing, we putting the source module. So this is what I'm going to tell you that works, that I do, and that works for me typically. There could be specific situations, maybe, you know, if you're an makes professional and you're building out these scenarios where you want to do things differently, right? And yeah, maybe if you know what you're doing, maybe this isn't like a rule of law around around every single scenario, but I'm just going to tell you what I typically think of when building this out. So source module, you're typically going to want, well, for this, we're selecting the Iterator, which is the search records, right? And even if I had something, let's just say, for example, I had something like in between here. If I had another module that was like set multiple variables, add item, whatever, you know, you're setting a variable. Right, for example, and you're in here. I wouldn't want to do this, right? Because if I do this, you're gonna see, first off, this right here. I don't know what you call this like little styling thing, right? This is what happens, and this basically shows, this is like where you put your source for your aggregator, and that you're gonna see that like shaded in styling right here within make. I'm just gonna delete this now, but this basically means like everything within this little exclusive shading is that's like, okay, so unfortunately, I don't know if you saw there, I just touched my mic in the last clip, and when I was editing the video, I noticed that it cut out the audio for about good five minutes here. So let me make sure I cover everything that I was talking about here. So yeah, once you this little like gray shaded thing, this is essentially an exclusive area within make. This, when you see this is the end of the aggregator, and this is right here essentially the Iterator right here, the start of the Iterator. So wherever you put the source right here, so I'm putting the source as search categories, and typically I would put the source being the Iterator, right? And this basically means if I go over here to ChatGPT and I click here, I can't access this search categories, right, for Airtable. This search categories is over here earlier in the module or in the scenario. You can't access any of the data or the bundles or whatever from anything within this shaded area unless you have modules within the shaded area, right? So if I put an array aggregator here, well, actually I wouldn't want to use this, but I mean, I could. See, now I have this other search categories area for my Airtable, right? So let me just delete this module and auto align. Okay, so just to recap what we're doing with this search, the search records area is we're pulling about 9 bundles here of the categories, and then I am using a text aggregator right here to squash these bundles down, or these these bundles into one string of text, one large string of text. So instead of this having to run 9 times and eat up on your executions within your make account, it's able to just run once. And you can see it's running once right here. Okay. And yeah, if you did have like an array aggregator, just for example, and I'll show you this quickly, because you may, for certain cases, you may want to use this. Search categories. What you can do is you could select target structure type, and it would show something different, or it would show additional options if you had different modules attached to it. But this is where you can either like select all, or you can select different values. So for us, we're just going to select categories. Go advanced if you want. Do some of this if needed. Right? As you can see, it's putting that gray shade, that shaded area again, right? For the aggregator and the iterator, right? And if I were to just run this, so let's just run this, and I'm going to show you an example. So let me just go boom, trigger this in my Airtable. So now that I triggered that, it should, yep, hit this. So we're pulling all 9 or 11 bundles, and you can see here it's putting all these different bundles into one array with all the different categories right here. All right, so that's the array aggregator, which can be useful. The numeric aggregator right here, you could like I said before, I believe, you can do the average, sum, count, etc. And this would be useful like if you're pulling data from like a accounting sheet or commission tracker, etc. But for my case, I wanted to use the text aggregator to essentially get that large block of text. So let me just show you what this looks like in action. I'm just going to run this, and I'm going to go over to here to Airtable, and let me just redo this one. So turn this to check transcript, and if we go here, you'll see that it got the webhook, did this stuff, which isn't relevant for this video. And then basically search the records to find the categories specifically with a filter of categories that aren't empty, so it's not pulling a bunch of empty stuff. And then it is taking the text aggregator right here, which the source is search categories, the start of our iterator, and a row separator is this right here, just a simple comma. You could do new line or new tab. And then the text is the array right here, or sorry, it's the categories, not an array. Yeah, this is just text. So, and yeah, just a point, you can always see what format the data is in just by hovering over it. So we can see text here over frameworks. We have an array right here. Okay, that's an easy way to tell. So we got the input of all these different bundles. Then it just smushed those all together into a text block, which then over here, basically all this is doing is just asking ChatGPT, hey, here's all the categories for different transcripts. And these are some of the categories that are like I already have, right? So does this transcript fit into one of these categories? If it does, then it can automatically assign that category. So we're not like overlapping and it's not generating like, for example, like AI, like, or like Instagram, not generating like a similar thing, like overlapping, like Instagram, like growth strategies or something. Like it's already has Instagram growth. It's not overlapping. And then if it doesn't fall into one of the categories that are already within my Airtable base, then it's going to create a new category, right? Based on the transcript. So it's a very simple flow, essentially. And as you can see here, we got this one, which is categorized as TikTok growth. And yeah, so a basic overview of arrays and text aggregators and integrators within make.com. This is not something that you are probably going to use all the time, but it's something that I've seen other people kind of get stuck on. I've got stuck on it. And yeah, sometimes it requires a little bit of troubleshooting for your specific scenario. Like if you may not have seen this video, hopefully this answers some questions for you and hopefully it helps you a bit. And I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on make.com, Airtable, automations, ChatGPT, AI automation within your business, within your personal life, for your clients, for whatever, so you can improve your life in general. It's really game-changing stuff once you actually are able to understand it, use it. And I'm going to give you some really good value even if you're just a beginner. Like I remember when I knew nothing about make.com and how to set this up, and if you're intermediate or advanced, like you're going to get a lot of value from some of the stuff I have planned. So if you want to stay up to date with all that, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to show you how to actually like, not just, this is just showing you kind of like little components on what this like integrators and aggregators actually mean, but I plan on actually like making complex scenarios or somewhat complex scenarios, really cool scenarios leveraging AI. I already have a bunch, but I just haven't done too many videos on them yet. But I'm going to be doing a lot of cool videos and showing you guys these automations and showing how you can leverage AI and really cool things. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to subscribe, smash that like button, comment down below what you want to see, comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll try my best to help you answer them for a specific case. Other than that, guys, make sure to check out our free community, stridecommunity.com. Link for that will be in the description. And then also I'll include a link to my new book, Client Acquisition Code, How to Leverage AI in your business and systems automations to basically put your client acquisition on steroids. And other than that, guys, I will see you in the next video. Keep hustling, keep grinding, and of course, guys, accelerate your stride. Take care.